Hello everyone, this is Priyasha from XAT, and in this video we'll be discussing about the time management during the examination. So this is technically the last video or workshop you can say regarding the XAT 2023. So far you all have been studying really nicely with all the videos and materials being provided, and I wish that now it's time for you to stop studying anything new and start revising what you have already done, plus think and make strategies of how you're going to utilize those minutes given to you during the examination, because there you have to act as a real-time manager and take these questions as real-time problems in your life and keep solving the ones which you can and skipping the ones which you can't. So let's see how to do this. Look, I have come across two things. Okay, there are multiple messages, so I thought that I would make a quick video on that and send it to you people so that most of you can refer to that and benefit. So, one thing which is quite different from others' strategies which I have seen is that I believe in the strongest. Okay, I still see many people asking you to go through your weaker part, but I believe personally that when you're closer to the examination, like you're 5 days closer or something, from that time onwards only, forget about the weak section. आपके दिमाग को आपको सिर्फ यही याद दिलाना है that what was your strongest section. Okay, so I will tell you what I did during my examination, and during my exam there was 165 minutes in part A. So I would tell you regarding that, as well as it's flexible enough because only one more question is added and 10 minutes extra are given to you, so that won't create any problem. And then I will do three things. Number one is I will go by the strongest first. Okay, strong section first. Number two is we'll divide our paper into round one and round two. And number three, which is very, very essential, okay, is that we will not focus anything such as called as the weaker section or something. We will focus on individual questions and group questions. Okay, so these three things will make our strategy or management a little different. So I'll move faster here. I don't want to take a lot of time of yours because every minute is crucial now. So let's get started. The first thing which I said is ask yourself what's your strongest section. Okay, now, as I said, I will do it like I will show you what I have done, and then you can make the changes accordingly. So, for me, the strongest section was no doubt DM. Okay, so decision making was my strongest section. So, what I did was I started with decision making, and it is obvious and psychologically accepted that आप अगर अपने strongest area से शुरू करते हो तो आपको जो confidence मिलता है वो confidence throughout the 3 hours आपके examination में आपके साथ रहेगा, which will help you to get the best result possible. So I will start first with my DM section. Now in this DM section, let me tell you, this is whatever I'm doing is round one, okay? Like whatever I'm going to do right now is my round one only. मैं round one में कुछ questions करती हूँ और कुछ questions round two के लिए छोड़ देती हूँ. So when I go through the DM questions and quickly skim through all the DM paragraphs and questions as much as I can, and उन सब में से the ones which are confusing. Okay, one more thing very very important I want you people to know, that आपकी rough sheet में create two columns like this. Write skip in one column and marked reviewed in another column. Now marked review को मैं थोड़ा अलग वे से use करती हूँ when I see a question which I don't understand at all. Like see, I saw a question of quant which I know I don't know at all. I won't be even to touch or start the question. Then I will write the question number as 55. Okay, I will write that I will not do it, so that when I come back in round two मैं 1 मिनट उसको देखने में और हटाने में भी नहीं लगाऊं. Okay, like oh ये question नहीं नहीं, इतने में भी time waste नहीं होना चाहिए, and that will happen only when you have a list ready with you somewhere, that we don't have to click on that question number. Similarly, marked and review को better way में use करना है. So for the RCs or the passages which come in group, whether it is a DI set or a DM set, or let's say it's a VARC set. So I give a number, like I give 33 to 36 or 35. Okay, three questions for example, and I give a keyword to it like farm. So if there is a RC related to farm or a DI set related to farm, मुझे याद आ जाएगा कि अच्छा अच्छा ये वाला फार्म वाला सेट था, मैं उसको पहले कर लेती हूँ. सो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो आपको एक दो मिनट करके कम से कम 15 मिनट आपके एग्जाम में बचा लेंगे. सो इफ यू वांट यू कैन definitely take this method. So coming back to what strategy I was talking about is DMK questions. So how many questions did I do in the DM part is the question, right? So I targeted around 12 to 14 questions in the very first round. Like bilkul, definitely. I read through all the passages, but I targeted around 12 to 14 questions in the DM, and this happened in 30 minutes. Okay, I gave myself 30 minutes ka slot. I myself divided or bifurcated these things earlier. मैं ये strategy लेके चली थी, okay? So I gave 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes I targeted around 12 to 14 questions of DM in my round one itself. अब इसके बाद irrespective of whether your VA, LR or whether your quant is strong or not, I expect you to do something. I expect you to do RC and DI in the next two parts only. The reason is very, very clear. What is the common thing you see in the DM section, RC section, and the DI section? The third thing which we discussed, there are two types of questions in the exam. Some questions which are individual and some questions which are group based. Okay? जो ग्रुप बेस्ड होते हैं ना वो भले ही टाइम टेकिंग होते हैं लेकिन एक बार सॉल्व कर लो तो यू कैन स्ट्रेट अवे सॉल्व 2 to 3 क्वेश्चंस ऑफ दैट सेट इजीली. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए ग्रुप बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस को टाइम भी बहुत लगता है. यू नो व्हेन यू सी द टाइम टिकिंग एंड यू हैव एनी नंबर इन सिंगल डिजिट और डबल डिजिट, आपको एंक्शियस आप एंक्शियस होने लगते हो और उस एंक्शियसनेस में आपका सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एक्टिव हो जाता है. और जब सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एक्टिव हो जाता है तो आप रीजनिंग के साथ सोचना बंद कर देते हो. अगर आपको मेरी बात ये मजाक लग रही है तो यू कैन ऑल्सो रीड थ्रू द बुक्स एंड यू विल गेट टू नो दैट दिस इज साइंटिफिकली प्रूवन. ये एंगर के स्टेज में या फिर इन ऑल द फियर स्टेजेस ये होता है. जब आप फियर या एंगर के मूड में चले जाते हो तो उस स्टेज में आपका सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एक्टिव हो जाता है और सबकॉन्शियस माइंड के पास रीजन नहीं होता, लॉजिक नहीं होता, और फिर आप जो भी करते हो वो आप एक थ्रस्ट में कर जाते हो. तो ये हमें नहीं करना है. हमें एग्जाम के बीच भी अपने प्रीफ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स, आई सो सॉरी फॉर द टेक्निकल टर्म्स, बट अपने ओरिजिनल ब्रेन को ही यूज करना है जिसमें लॉजिक है. ठीक है, सो इसके लिए हमें टाइम के प्रेशर में नहीं आना. और इसीलिए जितने भी बड़े बड़े क्वेश्चंस है, लाइक बड़े बड़े इन द सेंस द ग्रुप बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, वी हैव टू टारगेट देम फर्स्ट. सो आई टारगेटेड अराउंड 3 to 4 RCs. Okay, I read through all the RCs. I targeted 3 to 4 RCs. Okay, in which you can also add the poem RCs if you believe you can do that in the very first round. And then this needs to be done in around next 30 minutes only. Okay, so this next 30 minutes I gave to my RC section where I cracked around 3 to 4 RCs. Then I came to the DI part. Okay, now when I say I cracked 3 to 4 RCs, I don't mean that if I say 4 RCs I have done all the 12 questions of it. No, मैंने उसमें से 3-4 questions छोड़ दिए, but at least मैंने उन passages को पढ़ लिया. Then I am coming to the DI part. Now DI part also has around 3 to 4 sets in it. Okay, so it's not necessary that you do all of them. Okay, this is set, not question. So I'll write set here. Okay, so just refer or go through all the sets and whichever you can do and solve, just solve them. Okay, so target, इसमें से जैसे target around 10 questions है और इसमें से like target around again you can target some 6 to 8 questions also, that will be enough, and give another 30 minutes for doing this. Okay, so you have 1.5 hours gone in this process. Now I will come to individual questions. तो individuals में मैंने QA से start किया था, VA से नहीं. So I did QA questions. I targeted around 15 questions in the next 30 minutes. और जरूरी नहीं है कि उसमें से सारा सही निकले या सारा बन जाए, तो जितना भी आपसे बनता है 30 मिनट का स्लॉट खुद को दीजिए and target as many QA questions in round one as you can. Then my fifth segment was the VA part. VA part has around 12 individual questions, including critical reasoning, FIJs, fill in the blanks, grammar part, right? So out of that, I targeted around 8 to 10 questions, but then I did not do all of them. I targeted them. दो क्वेश्चन तो ऐसे ही मैंने देख कर ही छोड़ दिया कि लाइक नहीं नहीं, ये तो स्किप के कॉलम में चला जाएगा. बाकी जितने भी 10 क्वेश्चंस बचे थे उनमें से मैंने 8 क्वेश्चंस ऐसे अटेम्प्ट करने का ट्राई किया, एंड आई गेव माई सेल्फ 20 minutes फॉर डूइंग दिस. नाउ इफ यू चेक द टाइमिंग you will get to know how much time have I spent. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, so 2 hours and 20 minutes is what I gave in my round one. Okay, now round one में ऐसे आप देख सकते हो the number of questions I have targeted is somewhere around taking me par my cutoff score. Okay, so I have to now go and give the remaining time. तो मेरे लिए कम time बचा था, but आप लोगों के लिए since it's 175 minutes, so you have a lot of time to give. This is 140 minutes का time schedule which I gave you for round one, and now you have 35 minutes in which you can maximize in whichever section you want. Like DM में मैंने सिर्फ 14 questions attempt किए थे, so I still have a scope to go with 8 more questions. I would visit, I would retouch DM. So what I did was I retouched DM. Okay. Then if you want, you can retouch quant, you can retouch the VA section and things like that. And in this 35 minutes, you will come back to your marked and mark reviewed wala thing. Okay. Come back to this, use this column and revisit all the questions. याद रहे कि आपका 80% of काम round one में ही हो जाना चाहिए. But still, you should have a reference point, right? And that was all, guys. I did all of this and I was able to get a good point. But then, just coming back to what I said in the beginning, that please keep in mind that start with your strongest section, number one, irrespective of whatever your strongest section is. Number two, please focus on the group based questions before focusing on the individual questions, because जब time की ticking कम होगी ना, I mean when time कम होगा उस वक्त बड़े बड़े groups को solve करना would be more difficult than solving individual questions. So first target the group questions, then target the individual questions, and divide your paper into round one and round two. That's all, guys. I hope that हमारी मेहनत साथ में जो हम कर रहे हैं वो जरूर रंग लाएगी, and you will come out with flying colors. I wish you all the best. अच्छे से एग्जाम देना, और प्लीज यार आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल, क्योंकि मेहनत दोनों साइड से लग रही है. ओके, सो अच्छे से एग्जाम देना. दैट्स ऑल आई वांट टू से. लाइक दिस वीडियो इफ यू लाइक इट, इफ you found this video useful and the strategy helpful, definitely comment below and share this video as much as you can, guys. Okay, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe as well. I would love to provide you such free content. Thank you so much and all the very best.